non-college career type of things, or could you elaborate on that a bit more?
I definitely can. So I'm going to go a little bit personal here. My son, who's graduating this year, his junior year walked into a welding program. He was taking it just as an extra course. He had an opening and he walked into the welding program and he was kind of lost, didn't know what he really wanted to do with his life. We'd, kind of run through a bunch of different things and he still in. We got to welding and the first time he touched the welder, he fell in love. He decided he wanted to become a welder. I knew, he knew, our whole family knew he was not a kid that was going to do well in a 2 or 4 year college. Plain and simple. Not all of our kids are prepared emotionally or mentally to go into a 4-year program. With the CTE programs is what they're called, they actually get the CTE, College Technical Education. Basically what it is they go in and they get hands-on experience. It gives them an idea of what they can do with their future, and they actually get to touch it and play with it. He's now in his 2nd year of welding. He's been accepted to 2 different welding schools and is going for an associate's degree. Without this particular program, we would still be wandering through senior year going, what are we going to do with our lives? I know that we have some programs such as cosmetology, we have auto tech, we need HVAC, we need plumbing, we need more trades. Trades are the way to go.
Okay. Good enough. And you said, for one example, do you have another?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Jenny?
Now, you're running against an incumbent, somebody who's already on the board. Why would, for the voters that look at this, why would they vote for you instead of for her?
I actually have kids in the schools. I'm actually involved in programs, but my biggest thing is that I am seen in the community daily. There is not a face that I don't know, just even if it's just in passing. So I'm literally seen every single day at the high school, at the junior high, at some of our elementary schools, at the event center, very actively involved in the community, but more so, I actually have kids still in school.
What is your opponent not doing or doing incorrectly on the school board that you would do differently?
I think involvement is a big thing. Doesn't matter if I have a kid in the program or not. I go and support other sports. I support other programs, even without having children in it. I can tell you I know teachers who have never seen her, don't even know who she is.
With the involvement for sports, for instance, I don't know how involved you are, and I don't know all the makeup in the school district, but how many fields do you have that are astroturf?
2.
And how are they working out?
Great. They actually work really well.
So, how long are they lasting?
Magnolia West has only had theirs, I believe this was our 2nd season with AstroTurf. It's slated to last at least 10 years. So we shall see.
Do you know what it costs?
Too much, I know that.
So, in your
That wasn't a bond.
in your opinion, is that a better way to go than having the natural turf and watering and the maintenance and all of that?
I will say that it probably cuts down on maintenance costs because you're not having to constantly cut it and make sure it's all pretty and green. But at the same time, you have to have special machinery to clean it and maintain it.
Are other sports using this? I'm assuming this is just for the football field.
No, yes, this is just for the football field, but yes, other sports do use the football
But
field.
baseball doesn't use it.
No, they do not.
So the only thing that really uses it is soccer and probably in
And
football. Both of them are football.
And the band,
And the band does.
The band
uses it
does.
all the time.
Drill team.
And the drill team and the cheer.
Do they use it because, I mean, they can't be out there when they're practicing for football?
No, but we have a great working relationship with football and that with the band. So we actually practice when they're not practicing on it.
I have a little bit of time. Every school district seems to have a difference with their high school, their intermediate, their junior high. What is your makeup for intermediate? Do you know?
It's 5th and 6th grade.
5th and 6th. Okay. And so junior high is 7th, 8th?
7th,
And then high school is?
9th through 12th.
Okay. Every district's different.
And that's new this year. That's new from
That's
Magnolia this
new.
year.
Having the intermediate is new.
Yes.
Is there a real reason for it? I mean, we're building more schools. Is it necessity? Is it a necessity to do so?
A real thought is yes, because your 5th graders kind of view it as they're stuck in a baby school, but they're not quite ready for the junior high. So putting them with 5th and 6th grade kind of helps them mature a little bit and kind of gets them used to that transition of going into the junior high and being in those higher grades and having the options for different electives.
And I always thought junior high was the transition to go to high school, and that's what junior high was supposed to be.
Right, right.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, how many school board meetings have you been to, in what time period?
I have been to, let's see, I've been to 3 this year. I was at 5 last year. I want to say there's been, except for this year, there's been never less than 5 per year since I lived at Magnolia.
How often are they held?
Once a month.
Once a month.
And one of our questions, general questions, is what are the top 3 issues facing MISD? And one of yours was the education program. And the question I have is, you listed teacher retention. Do you have a lot of turnover?
We have way too much turnover.
Really?
My daughters, as sophomores, went through 3 English teachers before Christmas break.
Wow.
Being involved with band, we've had 5 to 6 different directors in the past 4 years.
My
Yes,
goodness,
it's
once a year.
What,
What do you think causes that?
I think that there is a big difference in appreciation from the individual school and the administration at the individual school. I also think that Magnolia high schools have become a stepping stone for teachers. And so when they figure out that they're not generally being appreciated by administrators, they kind of start looking outside their realm. And kind of the whole grass is greener on the other side, and move to districts that are paying more, have more opportunity for growth, what have you.
So how would you change that?
At Magnolia West, we do teacher luncheons once a quarter, and it's all parent sponsored. I would suggest doing that once a month. Parents need to step up and be involved, and that's one thing that the school lacks, is parent involvement.
One quick question. You mentioned that you're going to be very active in the band and all that, and you've raised money on the outside. Was that from parents, or was that from businesses, other groups?
That was businesses. We actually, we started things such as silent auction, where I actually reached out to members of the community and got gift cards donated, trips donated, what have you, and we would actually silent auction them off. And that's where the majority of our scholarship money comes from.
Very good.
so it's strictly scholarship money though?
What we're doing for band, yes, is strictly scholarship.
Okay.
On the budget, what are the top 3 areas where the budget for the school district needs to be adjusted? You said first one was M&O, maintenance and operations. Second highest after instruction. How much lower do you think it needs to be, say, percent-wise?
I mean, you're not talking anything drastic. I'm thinking 2 to 5%. It's nothing too drastic.
Okay. And leadership needs to be reduced. Or are you saying in quantity, or are you saying in amount that they're getting paid, or both? You do list a superintendent, assistant superintendent,
Assistant superintendent.
and all directors. What's the director? And in the school?
So you actually have, within the district, you have either your superintendent, your superintendent. You also have a fine arts director, an athletic director. You have a security director. You have a bunch of different directors overseeing different things. But within the school itself, you have the principal, the associate principal, and then you have 4 assistant principals on top of 2 counselors, 2 guidance counselors, 3 school psychologists, a school therapist.
And they're being paid less than the teachers, right?
No.
No.
Do you know what the ratio is for administrative versus teacher? You know what I'm saying? So the state average is 1.3
Mhm.
teachers to every administrator.
Well, support staff.
Oh, support staff.
Included,
Exactly.
yeah.
I don't. I'm trying to figure it out very quickly. I know it's very high.
It's amazing.
Data processing, in the third part of that, since I have a little time, data processing services. You said, why are we outsourcing this? Keep it in-house and keep costs down. Some would say outsourcing keeps the cost down.
Not when you're paying people to do it in-house and outsourcing too.
Oh, really? Okay. So they're doing both.
They're doing both.
Sounds like the accounting. All right. Bill.
Okay, of all of the current school board members, who's your favorite? Who's doing the best job? Who's the one you want to model your career path after?
Sonia Abel.
Okay, and why her?
She is very involved, not with just her own child. She spends a lot of time across the board with different groups. She takes the time to go read to elementary school students. She's actively involved with church. I actually do know her personally from church. Very calm and level-headed. And I actually give her a lot of respect for that.
Okay, well, that's all good answers. And so why did you run for this particular position on the school board? Because there's more than one open, right?
There is. There's really not a reason for me choosing this one particular position. In all honesty, I think it kind of spoke to me just to go for this position one.
Start with you.
Right.
Okay, James.
Now, what is do you know the level of education the superintendent has? Is it a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate?
He has a doctorate.
And what is the level of education that you've attained?
I have some college.
All right, this is why I asked. Well, let me ask something first. In the school board meetings you've been to, and you've been to quite a few, do you notice that the school board members are challenging the superintendent on fund issues and that sort of thing? So that's the basis of my question. So here you have a man with a good bit of experience, high degree of education, and you're a school board member. Now, the school board are the elected officials. They're the ones with the state legal authority, responsibility, and power. And if there's any money being spent in that school district or misspent, the people that have to answer for that is not the superintendent, it's the school board. So my question is, when you look at the fact that you have a superintendent that I'm pretty sure is used to getting his way, how will you handle the fact that if you challenge him, the rest of the school board is going to look at you and say, do you have a doctorate? Have you been in office? Have you had this much experience? Aren't you just some little old mom from home? Who are you to tell the superintendent what to do? So how are you going to handle that dynamic?
I manage projects that literally are $1.9 billion every single day. I manage Fortune 5 companies every single day. Nobody can beat me because of my education. sometimes it's not always so great to have